Soumya, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Welcome everyone to this special event to embark on the journey of ideas, innovations, and insights that will shape the future of our nation. We are highly grateful to Ministry of Education, AICTE, Innovation Council for giving us an opportunity to host this event at City Engineering College, Bangalore. I welcome our speaker, Mr. Pravinjit KP, Managing Director, Eco Paradigm Technical Committee Member, Bangalore Solid Waste Management Limited, Head Regional Facilities, Solid Waste Management for World Bank, Technical Member, Waste to Wealth Mission, under the Office of Principal Scientific Advisor to Prime Minister. So I request our guest, our beloved Principal, Dr. H.N. Tippeswamy, Vice Principal, Dr. Narayan Swamy, Administrative Officer, Mr. Satish Hande, to grace the dais. In their absence, I welcome our Honorable Chairman, Dr. K.R. Paramahamsa, Vice Chairperson, Mrs. Geeta Paramahamsa, Vice President, Mr. Monika Kalluri, and Executive Vice President, Mr. Rahul Kalluri. So finally, I extend my warm welcome to all my dear students, faculty members, teaching and non-teaching staff, media and news coverage representatives. शिक्षा से ही सृष्टि का आधार प्रदान होता है, ज्ञान की राह में ही सफलता का मार्ग मिलता है. Education is the foundation of creation. Success finds its path through the journey of knowledge. Now I request Ms. Chinmayi, student of 5th semester, to present an invocation song that resonates the spirit of God. Thank you.
ಪೂಜೆಯಗೊಳ್ಳುವುದು ವಿನಾಯಕ, ಮೂರ್ಜಗದೊಡೆಯ ವಿನಾಯಕ. ಪೂಜೆಯಗೊಳ್ಳುವುದು ವಿನಾಯಕ, ಮೂರ್ಜಗದೊಡೆಯ ವಿನಾಯಕ. ಪಾಶಾಂಕುಶಧರ ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣನಾಥ, ಶ್ರೀಶಾರ್ಚಿತ ಪದಕಾಮಿತದಾತ. ಪಾಶಾಂಕುಶಧರ ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣನಾಥ, ಶ್ರೀಶಾರ್ಚಿತ ಪದಕಾಮಿತದಾತ. ವಾಸವ ಸನ್ನೂತ ಶಂಕರ ಪುತ್ರ, ವಸಿದೇವುದು ವರಮಂಗಳ ಗಾತ್ರ. ಪೂಜೆಯಗೊಳ್ಳುವುದು ವಿನಾಯಕ, ಮೂರ್ಜಗದೊಡೆಯ ವಿನಾಯಕ. ಪೂಜೆಯಗೊಳ್ಳುವುದು ವಿನಾಯಕ, ವಿನಾಯಕ, ವಿನಾಯಕ. Thank you.
Thank you, Chinmayi. पढ़ाई से ही जागतिक का ज्ञान द्वारा खुलता है. अशिक्षितता से दूर रहकर समृद्धि की ऊंचाइयों को छूना संभव होता है. Education opens the gateway to global knowledge. Prosperity is attainable by staying away from illiteracy and reaching the heights of success. Now let's invoke the divine presence of Almighty by lighting the lamp. I request our dignitaries to light the lamp. Thank you, dignitaries. Viksit, a Sanskrit word, means advanced or developed. A country that is advanced and has reached a higher level of industrial or technological development. Today, the goal of the country is Viksit Bharat, Sashakt Bharat. We cannot stop until this dream of a developed India fulfilled as quoted by Honorable Prime Minister of India Shri Narendra Modi ji on launch of Viksit Bharat at 2047 Voice of Youth event via video conference on 11th December 2023. Viksit Bharat is the vision of Government of India to make India a developed nation by 2047, the 100th year of independence. Niti Aayog is bringing 10 sectoral thematic visions into Viksit Bharat at 2047. The vision empowers various aspects of development, including economic growth, social advancements, environmental sustainability, and effective governance. This vision embarks the journey of India towards bold, ambitious, and transformation agenda to Viksit Bharat. This vision underscores the critical juncture at which India currently stands. For this to happen, there is a need to take out a bold, ambitious, and transformative agenda to its all stakeholders. Business alone will not be sufficient to create the future. It is very important to channelize the innovative ideas of youth for building the nation. It is important to channelize the innovative ideas of youth who constitute our largest population and has a large role into nation-building exercise across all colleges and universities by inviting them to ideate and contribute to the vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047. The journey towards a skilled and empowered society requires collective effort. Governments, educational institutions, industries, and individuals must collaborate to create an environment where skill development is not just an option, but an integral part of our culture and educational ethos. Let's embrace the challenges of tomorrow with the confidence that comes from being a skilled and adaptable society. Now I request our beloved Principal Dr. H.N. Tippeswamy to deliver the welcome speech.
Honorable Chief Guest of today's function, Mr. Pravinjit KP, our Administrative Officer, Mr. Satish Shende, Vice Principal, Dr. Narayan Swami, the Coordinator of today's function, Dr. Samya Nayak, HODs of various departments, my dear staff and students, and people from press. Good morning, one and all. Today, we have assembled here for Viksit Bharat at 2047. That is, the developed India after the 100 years after the independence. That is, in 1947 we got independence. After that 100 years, that is 2047. By that time, we want to be a developed country. Now we are called as developing country. First, we were in the second, third, like that. Now we are step by step improving, but we want to be, by 2047, we want to be the developed country. This is the vision of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. So, in this connection, we have assembled here our chief guest, Mr. Pravinjit KP. We have requested him to come here from behalf of our management and college. So I welcome our Pravinjit KP for this function. I request our administrative officer to welcome him by giving this bouquet. I welcome you once again, sir. Our administrative officer, Satish Shande sir, has accepted to be on this occasion. I welcome you, sir. I request our vice principal to present him bouquet on this occasion and welcome him. Our Vice Principal, Dr. Narayan Swami, has accepted to be here on this occasion. I welcome him also. I request Dr. Soumya Nag, the coordinator, to welcome him by presenting the bouquet. Welcome you once again, sir. Dr. Soumya Nag, the coordinator, who started from the beginning until today, has taken a lot of pain in organizing this function. I welcome you also, madam. I request Dr. Jyoti madam to present a bouquet and welcome her also. On this occasion, I welcome all the HODs of the various departments, staff members of the various departments, teaching, non-teaching staff members, office staff, and on this occasion, I welcome all the students of our college on this occasion. And finally, I welcome all the press people, especially press people for this program. I request Mr. Chalpati to come onto the dais and accept this. And I request Soumya Naik to welcome him by giving this bouquet. Welcome, sir. This Viksit Bharat is for youth of this country. That is all of you people. So you need to see that our country is in the state of the developed nation by 2047. For all that, we have got several projects. India has got lot of opportunities, created lot of opportunities. So you should see that, and you should do such a work that our country should reach and achieve our mission by that Viksit Bharat, developed nation by 2047. I request all of you to do work towards this. Once again, welcome one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our administrative officer, Mr. Satish Shande sir, to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. H.N. Tepeswamy, by giving a bouquet. Thank you, sir. In the absence of our Honorable Chairman, Dr. K.R. Paramahamsa, I call upon Professor Vibhavi to introduce our Chairman.
Esteemed dignitaries, colleagues, and dear students, good morning to everyone present here. In his absentia, I would like to take this privileged opportunity to introduce our chairman, Dr. Kalluri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, an accomplished educationist and a seasoned entrepreneur with over 35 years of experience. Dr. K.R. Paramahamsa's robust academic background includes graduation from Loyola College, Andhra Pradesh, MBA and PhD from California University, USA, and a honorary doctorate of literature from Tumkur University. His academic pursuits further include postgraduate diploma in epigraphy, labor laws management from IITC Mumbai, and an LLB from Bangalore University, significantly enriching his academic profile. The City Engineering College was started in 2001 as part of the AMC City Group of Institutions under the Paramahamsa Foundation and Jayanagara Education Society. Dr. Paramahamsa established the institutions emphasizing holistic education aligned with traditional Indian values and contemporary methodologies. These institutions include schools, pre-university colleges, diverse bachelor's and master's degree programs in various fields like business administration, computer applications, hotel management, biotechnology, microbiology, and engineering. Beyond education, Dr. K.R. Paramahamsa is a philanthropist committed to supporting underprivileged students by offering free education, contributing to charitable causes, and fostering inclusivity by supporting diverse religious and social initiatives. His visionary leadership and commitment to societal reform serve as a constant source of inspiration for us, all of us here. On behalf of City Engineering College, I extend my humble welcome to Dr. Paramahamsa. Also, in their absentia, I would also like to invite Mrs. Geeta Paramahamsa, Vice Chairperson, Ms. Monica Kalluri, Vice President, and Mr. Rahul Kalluri, Executive Vice President of Paramahamsa Foundation Trust. Their dynamic leadership style and innovative policies breathe life into our institutions, fostering human transformation. Their insightful and inventive approach has illuminated new paths, inspiring us all to dream, create, and innovate. Once again, on behalf of City Engineering College, I would extend a warm welcome to our esteemed Chairman, Vice Chairperson, Vice President, and Executive Vice President. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon Professor Tejaswini to introduce today's chief guest, Mr. Pravinjit.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I feel privileged to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Pravinjit KP. Mr. Pravinjit KP is the Managing Director at Eco Paradigm, Advisor Technical Committee at Bangalore Solid Waste Management Limited, Member Monitoring Committee at Goa Waste Management Corporation, Government of Goa, Technical Subcommittee Member of Waste to Wealth Mission, Invest India Office of PSA, Government of India, and International Consultant of GIZ India. Mr. Pravinjit KP has over 30 years and 500 plus project experience in environmental infrastructure, waste management, renewable energy, climate change, and allied fields. He has been the lead and project management head for waste management projects for 70 plus cities spanning across India. His expertise ranges from concept to commissioning, including planning and design of infrastructure for various projects of recycling and recovery facilities, sewage management, solid waste management, rainwater harvesting, renewable energy, and environmental impact assessment related projects. He was the senior technical expert for policy making for Government of India and various other UN and bilateral, multilateral agencies. He was responsible for the development of database framework and structure for CPCB and GSPCB for hazardous waste, MOHUA for solid waste. He was consultant for the planning and implementation of India's first informal to formal e-waste recycling enterprise in 2006. He has rich experience working with organizations like World Bank, ADB, GIZ, UNDP, UNICEF, German Environment Agency UBA, German Investment Corporation Germany, Hamburg Wasser, a German water authority, German NGO BORDA, IFEW, German climate change research think tank, international consultants like Council Aqua, Adelphi, Gopa Infra, ICLEI, etc., and international teams from Germany, the UK, Netherlands, USA, Kenya, Taiwan, Thailand, Maldives, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, North Korea, Qatar, Iran, and China in various technical capacities. He has working experience across 19 Indian states, 3 union territories. His private sector clients include reputed companies like Toyota, Pepsi, Cola, Tata Motors, Siemens, Mahindra, Manipal Hospitals, Zoho, etc. The solid waste management projects include preparation of DPR and RFP for over 25 Indian cities of over 1000 crores. The size of the projects ranges from 1 TPD to 1000 TPD. He has prepared the segregated combustible fraction feasibility report for GOI on utilization of AFR in cement plants covering 80% of the RDF potential in India. He has prepared the operational and environmental audit of 20 plus solid waste processing plants, decentralized waste collection centers, and sanitary landfills. He was involved in a year-long hands-on operational training of integrated SWN process plant engineers and operators. He has built capacity in DPR preparation for the consultants engaged DPR preparation and Mitra officials for vetting and approvals for Swachh Maharashtra mission. His recent project was on successfully promoting and implementing innovative business models in compost usage in agriculture along with GIZ and NABARD. Currently, he is involved in the planning of a 200 TPD bio-CNG plant from MSW and implementation of hazardous waste management facility at Goa. He was a technical consultant to the Municipal Solid Waste Management Manual prepared by CPHWO, Government of India. He was part of the team that prepared the plastic management policy for Himachal Pradesh. He also prepared the zero waste management policy for Phoensoling Tromdi, Bhutan. He has been expert trainer on SWM for Comptroller or Auditor General of 8 countries. He has developed SWAPT, a decision-making software tool for solid waste management for Swachh Bharat mission, which is a part of MIS of GOI, and ADM, a decision support tool for agri-waste. The Segregated Waste Accountant SCWAC, a real-time IoT-based onboard waste weighing system, secured the best emerging innovative technology in SWM for collection and transportation from the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, and first runner-up at the Smart Cities Competition 2021. Several of the projects designed by him have gained national recognition, such as special mention from the Honorable President of India under National Urban Water Award 2009 for decentralized wastewater treatment for social sanitization project. The decentralized STP for Kundalahalli Lake Rejuvenation, Bangalore, won first prize under the National Water Awards 2018 from the Government of India. Mr. Pravinjit KP Sir is a civil engineer with a master's degree in geotechnical engineering. He holds an executive MBA from Commonwealth. He is currently pursuing a PhD in municipal solid waste. He is also a lead auditor for EMS 14000 and internal quality auditor for ISO 9000. On behalf of City Engineering College, I would like to express a sincere gratitude for your gracious presence, sir. We are eagerly waiting to looking forward to the insights and wisdoms you would share with us during this occasion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's witness an audio-visual presentation on Viksit Bharat at 2047. I request all the dignitaries to occupy the front rows.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने विकसित भारत 2047 वॉइस ऑफ यूथ लॉन्च किया। हम में से हर कोई भारत को विकसित देश बनाने के लिए सोच सकता है और अपने सुझाव विकसित भारत 2047 विचार पोर्टल पर भेज सकता है। भारत 21वीं सदी की महाशक्ति बनने की तरफ जा रहा है। भारत को महाशक्ति बनाने में ये पोर्टल बहुत बड़ा योगदान प्रदान करेगा। एक मजबूत और सशक्त समाज तभी बनता है जब नागरिक देश के हित में सोचते हैं। 2023 के भारत में कई चीजें ऐसी हैं जिस पे हमें काम करना है। आइए भारत को एक विकसित देश बनाने के लिए मिलकर काम करें। विकसित भारत लॉन्च के मौके पर पीएम मोदी ने कहा, यह भारत के लिए सही समय है। हमें इस समय के हर पल का लाभ उठाना है। हमारे सामने 25 साल का अमृत काल है। हमें इस अमृत काल और लक्ष्यों के लिए 24 घंटे काम करना है। विकसित भारत के निर्माण का यह स्वर्णिम युग वैसा ही है जैसा लोग अक्सर परीक्षा के दिनों में देखते हैं। पोर्टल का लिंक दिया हुआ है। हम जल्द की मानसिकता ही किसी भी देश के प्रशासन और शासन की झलक ख्याल रखती है। धन्यवाद। भारत को कैसे आगे ले जाना है, भारत को कैसा बनाना है, उसके
Now we have a much awaited session. I now request our chief guest to take over the session with his insights on Viksit Bharat at 2047.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you. Thanks to the college organizers for inviting me. It was a short notice, but I hope I will do justice to what I've been asked to do. Viksit Bharat, developed India. So in the community of nation, we hope to aspire to be the leader, at least in the top three. And that's, but the best part is 21st century belongs to us and belongs to you, because when it's 2047, probably you will also be about 45-47 years. So you will sort of, because I think that's your average, 20 years, 22 will be your age. So in 25 years will be 47. So it's little interesting, the numbers coincide. And you will get to see the country in its prime, pole position in the world. The leadership in the country has understood this, and they have also taken pains, they have also visualized what the country needs, and have laid down the, I think the right foundation, and the roadmap is clear. But the people who will walk on the road are you. That's important, because if you see all the roads which you walk today, your roads which are laid long ago, probably it is only increase in width, probably it is increase in length. The trees which give you shade are planted by somebody 40, 50, 60 years ago. So our generation is marking out the lines you will be traveling on, and you also have an equal responsibility to make this road wide, far, and connect virtually everyone. Anyway, so in the Viksit Bharat, they have outlined 10 thematic areas. I hope you have gone through. I will summarize it. And all are very important. All are keystones to a foundation of a developed country. Today, when we talk about developed country, we talk about US, Japan, Germany, Korea, North Korea, South Korea. Most of these countries are developed. By what definition? Their living style is high, everything, quality of life is good. Virtually you don't need to be worried about anything. India on that is in the cusp. We are in a stage where we are neither there, nor we are among the what now it's not a proper word to be is politically correct, called backward or anything. Least development, these developed countries, the different definitions, the definition change with time. But we are aspiring to be among the top. So there is a difference. Last century, the 20th century belonged to these countries. The Korea, the Japan, the US, the European countries, all of it was, they held their stage. But this century will entirely belong to us. And I'll tell you why. And when you look at the thematic areas, all of them, if you look at it like a timepiece, there are various cogs which move at a time. Right? Each cog is vital. When it's small, it's big, each one is a role. If one of them stop, everything will stop. So the 10 thematic areas are very vital to ensure that we are in the developed country by 2047. It is in your hands to make it advanced, you can make it earlier. But you know, it's always nice to talk about 25, 50, 75 and 100. So that is just a benchmark for us. But otherwise there's no reason why we can't be under the definition of much earlier. The way we are going, we could be. There are many factors at play. But interestingly, I found environment is missing in the thematic area. There is no investment in environment. I just after ma'am called me, I was wondering why environment is not there. Why are we talking about it? So then I thought, okay, which topic do I talk? Like they were reading our CV. I have worked in most of the thematic areas. Most of the thematic areas I have worked in it. So I was wondering which would I like to speak on. And I realized if I start talking one, I will be doing justice to the other areas. It's sort of partiality. Then I saw what is the single thread which connects all the time. And that is environment. And we need to invest in that. And luckily or unluckily, I happen to be in the field for the last 23 years now. As they told, I am a civil engineer by profession. I have worked in civil engineering throughout my career, but not as a civil engineer by definition. So that's one problem which most of the engineers here and most of the engineers I meet face. They are all, sorry to say, they are all like frogs in the well. This artificial construct of discipline is preventing your full potential, realizing your full potential. So what happened was when I joined the company, we had engineers from various branches working, mechanical, electrical, those days, IT also. And what we did, 1 year of working, we came out with the engineering discipline called GEE. Now you may wonder what is GE, not general electric, it is general engineering, which means whatever be your core degree, there's no other degree which is lesser than your this thing. You need to see how to leverage this other engineering in order that you realize the full potential of what you can deliver as a person, not as a civil engineer, not as a computer science professional, not as an IT, not as a mechanical engineer, because you have a certain role to play, and that role can be fulfilled only if you know the interplay of all the other disciplines. So you can work as a team, but even if you work as a team, you need to translate each other's language, which means you need to reach out and learn the other disciplines also for you to be fully effective. Okay. I'll as I go on, I'll keep telling you some incidents, and then you will realize what I'm trying to say. So the topic is investment in environment towards a Viksit Bharat. This is our core motive of our company, Eco Paradigm. We set standards in ecology, environment, and I don't know how many of you know it. People who respect and love maths will know this is called the Mobius strip. This is the only surface which has only one side. Any plane you take, you have two sides. This is the only one which has one side. It's a three-dimensional element, but not two-dimensional element with only one side. Similarly, there is a Klein bottle which is a three-dimensional which has only one side. What it tries to say is what we Indians universally believed since centuries: Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, God is one, means are many, meaning as you can have infinite planes, infinite dimension, but finally there is only one universe, and that's the simplest one, which is one. Okay, so this civil, electrical, mechanical, all these things are all just constructs for us to understand something. Finally it is all one, and that one would become environment. This is the area we work in: waste, water, solid waste, energy, rainwater, climate change, all gamut of the whole thing. It all depends, you can use it for whichever. So energy, solar, wind, hydro, waste to energy. Advisories which set the roadmap for whatever we do. Various countries we worked, 11 countries, including some countries where it's very difficult for an ordinary person to go. Countries like North Korea, where egress and ingress is very limited. We worked. These are some of the projects which we pride ourselves in. I want you to show the dimensions of the work, because you have to get out of this artificial discipline construct. This is a manual, which is a policy document, which is a guidance manual, which is sort of Bible for the country if you're practicing solid waste management. This is a software tool for decision makers on adopting the right technology. That's an electricity generating project which I will be talking later on. How you convert problems to opportunities. There's a hazardous waste landfill. How do you manage your problems? Some of it you will find has got a philosophic bent to it. These are our awards, one from the President of India, one from the National Water Award. This is something which we did to the government of Germany for resource and climate protection. So you will see this is little different from our engineering, what we know and what we learn in our 4 years. Some of our clients, some big names, some are number one in their field in the world. I would know all of us are in a very comfortable situation. I will take you to a series of photographs and articles to set the context to what we are talking. Have you seen this type of situations, photos, news? I don't know how many of you read newspaper, hard print. I think you read on the mobile, which means all these photos will be 2 inches or 1.5 inch. So you will not see the the reality and the pain unless you blow up this figure. This is a situation from Cape Town in South Africa in 2018. That is the situation in India. What's the difference here? Here you are facing a drought-like condition, no water. There you are having floods. This is situation anywhere in the world. Delhi is a classic example. Fog, pollution, people are all wearing masks. This is a situation again in India, predominantly you can see waste littered everywhere. Traffic jams, air pollution, ice caps, snow caps melting, extreme cold, people dying because of cold, people dying because of drought. What does this all tell you? This is all contemporary. This is in your lifetime. I am not talking going back in history. This is just 1, 2, 3 years, and these photos you are going to see more often. More often. That's important. This can't be wished away. Now, after the Cape Town crisis, I don't know how many of you know what is Cape Town crisis. South Africa, a location called Cape Town, ran out of water. The dams were dry. And the government had to ration water. Every week, one person was issued water 25 liters per week. 25 liters per week means slightly more than 3 liters per day. For your bathing, drinking, cooking, whatever you want, it is 3 liters. This was the situation. And the photo you saw, you saw the photos, no? Q. That is the situation. At that time, the scientists, think tank, policy makers, they decided to see which all countries are likely to face this situation. And they found in the top 100 cities which are likely to face this situation, 99 out of 100 were in Asia. 99 out of 100. And the interesting part of it is 43 are in India itself. 43 cities which are at the greatest environmental risk. The interesting part further is some of the cities won't exist after some time. They don't exist. Bombay, Chennai, Kerala, the entire state, Goa, all of these are going to be affected by this issue. Global warming, where the sea is going to rise only 1.5 mm per year. Only 1.5 mm. Okay, you have your 0.5 pencil, 1 mm pencil, 1.5 times that pencil is going to rise every year by global warming. It's so inconsequential. But in 100 years, many of these countries are going to be wiped out. Bangladesh might not exist, Maldives might not exist, Mauritius might not exist. In India, like I told you, Mumbai, the entire coastline of Karnataka, Kerala, all of these places will not exist. That is what we are looking at. Okay. So, we are trying to be developed, but what is against us? This particular thing. Okay. See the contrast. You have lack of water, you have water pollution. India in water quality index ranks 120th out of 122 nations which are actually monitoring. So while we aim to be Viksit, we are at the bottom, third place. Okay. So you have to counter situations which are not so perceptible. All other things are easy to understand. These are something very hidden, and unless you counter and fight this, you will be very far away from your dreams. Bangalore situation, other cities same thing, lakes are vanishing. And the results of lake vanishing, you can see it in Bangalore. Pollution, I told you 120 out of 122. You have water pollution, you have that, you have water crisis. Power, for anything to develop, you need electricity. Okay, we are having a huge shortfall, Huge shortfall. Solid waste not managed. There is a situation everywhere. I am not talking about this. These are picked up randomly. Power cut, lack of finance, farmers committing suicides, no power, no money to pay salaries. Okay, so, yeah. Anyway, one slide got hidden. I don't know for some reason. One slide got hidden. That is an important slide. No, it's hidden actually. I don't know why it got hidden. Can you go back to the PowerPoint and show that slide? That sets the stage for India. India, right now we have 1.4 billion population. 1.4, highest in the world. By 2047, we are going to be around 1.7 billion population. The world population will be about 9 point something. So roughly we will be 20% of the world's 20% of the world's population. No, move forward. 20% of the world, it's okay, not an issue. 20% of the world's population will be in India. The interesting part is we have water resources which are very, very limited. Land mass which is only 2.5% of the world's area, land mass. In contrast, US, which has 5 times less population, 3 times less population than us, has 5 times area. So they have a 15 times advantage. 15 times advantage. Less population, large land, all other resources are available. India, our population is going up, our land is not going, it is the same. Probably it is getting reduced, and it will reduce further with climate change. It will reduce further. So you have a small shrinking land, water further shrinking because of this variation in rainfall and other things. Currently we are around 350 or something. So 150 million tons has to be grown to feed the population. So while we are aiming to be a 5 trillion economy, how are we going to be a 5 trillion economy? We are going to export materials, services, producing many things, sending it to people who need. We will be the, like our Honorable Prime Minister talks, we are going to be the Annadata of the world. So we are going to feed. In the COVID time, we became the doctor of the world. We were the pharmacy of the world. We were sending those material. We are sending relief materials. All these things are going out of India. It's good. That shows that we are developed. We have materials far in surplus of ourselves and we are giving it. But when our population increases, our food requirement also increases. So we need what is called, in our dreams of, in our aspiration to be a Viksit Bharat, a 5 trillion economy, by 2047 we will be mostly 50 trillion. Right now, in the next 3-4 years we will be 5. But 2047, that is the time when we are in Amrit Kaal, we will be 50 trillion. That means 10 times we will be growing. When we are growing so much, what are our challenges? Our challenges are very few. Very few. Okay? Or simply stated, few. Few challenges. What are the few challenges? Few is food, energy and waste. These are our challenges. And these challenges are going to hold you back. It is like tying a heavy weight to your leg and trying to run. You cannot. This heavy weight is going to prevent you from realizing your full potential. So the challenges are few: food, energy and waste. So I think the chairman has come. Sir, are you feeling okay now? Thank you for inviting me. I just started setting the stage. So I was telling, in the dream of being a Viksit Bharat by 2047, India will be held back by what we call few challenges. Few means food, energy and waste. Okay, and these three are amply covered in the thematic area, and the one which is going to connect all of them would be the environment. So energy, if you look at it, I told you we would need food to cater to our population of 1.6 billion, and because our exports will also contribute to our GDP. Last year we exported rice and lot of food material, which is roughly around 20% of our GDP comes from that exports. So that is something. Our energy, if you look at, if you see this is the interesting graph. You see here, India, our GDP is somewhere here. Okay, we are consuming extremely low. When you look at the developing countries, their energy consumption is somewhere way ahead. Okay, it means when you match your GDP without your knowledge, you will be guzzling energy. So you will have to augment your energy supply in your country. Current way of supply, current installed capacities will not help you if you want to aim at that 50 trillion. Interesting part, as on date 2019, I don't have the latest figure, you see the energy disparity. Assam, the villages of Assam consume 572 units per year, roughly 1.5 units per day. Dadar Nagar Haveli Union Territory consumes 15,000. 15,000 means they are somewhere here. Japan, that level. That's the stark diversity in this country. Okay, it also shows their living style and all. But if India wants to be in that league, without your knowing, our energy requirements will go up and we should be ready. So which means that is where we are having an issue, because it's all again connected back to environment. We need to amplify, augment our current energy, this thing. And the interesting part is, when India got our independence, we had 1.3 gigawatt. 1.3 gigawatt. Right now we are around 300. That's our thing. We have ramped it up very nicely in 7th. But we need to move up to 800 gigawatt or so in the next 25 years. Now, how is our energy mix? Hydro is small, coal is our biggest, but if you have seen this last week or deliberation COP28, the world over they are pressurizing us to reduce coal as a source for fuel, because it's a greenhouse emitter. Okay, so if you are reducing coal, India has got a lot of reserve for coal, but if the pressure from the international community make us come down, then we cannot achieve our energy, we cannot meet our energy demand, which will automatically choke us. Now, using coal, that's the problem, our emissions will be very high, and that is leading to this thing. So you can see carbon intensity, India is on the higher side. For every unit of electricity we produce, we emit a large almost 4 kg, 0.4 kg per unit is what we emit, whereas if you go with renewable energy, you can be almost negligible. This is something important. Energy security for India is very much critical for us to be on the top league. Now, energy security means we can buy fuel. If you have a lot of money, you can buy oil, which what the European countries are doing, but you can also use that as a weapon. Energy can be used as a weapon. Somebody can stop selling power to you, and that's the end of your growth. Okay, now I can tell you some story. Some time back, India used to sell things to Pakistan and Pakistan used to sell electricity to India. Traditionally, we are rivals, we call them enemies, but trade occurs. They used to sell power to India, we used to sell something else to them. One politician said, why are we selling power to India? Because we are making them powerful. So even if it means we are not getting the benefit, let's not give power to India and make them powerful. You understand? What I'm trying to say is, anybody can choke, and the recent Ukraine war also showed that if you choke the fuel supply to any country, you can bar them. You can have lot of fuel, still make you powerless by choking that. Story of Iran. You can choke them, they will have fuel, but they can't do anything because you can't sell it. There's somebody who wants power, you can choke them and they won't get power. So understand. So for India, the best bet is this coal. We have lot of coal reserve. Almost another 500 years we can go ahead if we consume the way we are consuming now. But we cannot use that as a benchmark, because if you consume now, we'll be like that only. But if you want to grow that scale, you need to ramp up your utilization, which means this 440 might become 100 years. So that is all. After that, you don't have coal. The other ones, lignite, 1000, but this is not a very important thing. Oil and gas is hardly anything. You will be lost. So that is why India is now having oil diplomacy with all the Middle East and all to have your own energy security. So all the investment which is being done now with all the Middle East countries and all those things. Yesterday there was an article that India is paying in rupees to UAE instead of dollars to transact in oil. All these are investment towards that long term 25 years. So many things are related to commerce, trade, which you as engineers might think it is not related to us. But remember, oil is not there, none of your automobiles will work, factories will work, all this will stop. So there are many things which are interlinked. So you should go out of your way and try to see what are the interplay of other discipline which affect you as a human and then as an engineer. Yeah, so what happened? This is water scarcity. So energy we have spoken, food I spoke, waste. Waste is related to water and solid waste. You can see India is in the red color position. We don't have water, and I told you our land mass is small and most of our water just vanishes into the runs off. All the stories of Chennai flood and Andhra flood and every other Bangalore of course we are always flooded. But what it means is this water, although this water is there, like the saying goes, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. It is not very useful to you because we are not water wise. And that is going to limit you. So you as engineers should plan how to be water wise. This is a wastewater. Wastewater is a resource in the sense, irrespective of whether you have water here, you pump water from somewhere and bring the water to your city, you use it for domestic, industry, whatever be the use, convert it to a wastewater and then it's out. It's a wastewater. If you see, we are only treating about 20% of our water. 20% of our water. All 80% goes. It pollutes the good water bodies also, and that is why on the global scale we are from the bottom in the third place. On environmental index we are from the bottom third or fourth place. We are not improved much. We have improved on many things which are straight away visible. Finance, UPI transaction, all these are good, but the thing which will hold your life together, these things you have to invest together. So gap, almost 32,000 million liters is the production every day. We are untreated water. That's a resource. Now, if you have to treat it, you need all this data which I am talking. What is the hallmark of a good developed country? We say US, we say Switzerland, Singapore. What is it? It's extremely clean. Initially, when you are talking about the base thing you want to survive, you need food, something. And as you go up, you go up, your thing becomes cleaner and cleaner, and that is the hallmark. You might make somebody else become dirty, but you as a country, as a house, you are clean. So the one thing which will say you are developed is when your country is clean. So that is why 2014 we started the Swachh Bharat. We have a long way to go. Swachh Bharat means water, wastewater, solid waste, all these things have to be taken into consideration. It's a huge number, 62 million tons. Probably no other country has this amount of waste. But on the positive side, we generate on a per cap person data, we are on the very low side. Other countries, developed countries, they generate around 8 to 10 times what we average Indians generate. So mind you, in our journey towards Viksit Bharat, we should not blindly copy them and start consuming power the way they consume. We are right now at 2500 kilowatt hours per person per year average, although there are very small 500 people. But Bahrain and all, 2 lakh unit per annum. 2 lakh, for them fuel is like water. You can do anything you want. You should never get into that. That should not be a role model. We are at 2500, maybe 3000, 3000, 4000, 5000, that's okay. But not at that 2 lakh. Same way, per capita waste generation, we generate around 300 grams per person. The US generates around 4 kgs. There are some countries who generate more. Water, we consume, at least the standards say that we need 135. Bangalore, we consume 50 to 60 liters per day, okay, per person. There are countries which consume something like 800, 900 liters per person per day. So in our journey to development, we should not start emulating or copying them, because that is going to be a problem, because we don't have the resources to fulfill. Okay, that's something. Now, in the process of making it clean, that is what it means. To treat solid waste, to treat liquid waste, you need those areas, hectares of land. We don't have that, because I told you India has only 2.45% of the global earth mass, and we have 20% of the population. We don't have land to spare for any waste treatment, solid waste management and other things. If I don't treat because I don't have land, what does it mean? They emit methane, and this methane is a global warming gas with a potential of 28 times a CO2. It's very powerful, it's a potent gas, and this gas is going to change the climate. And what we are seeing right now, we don't have a fixed monsoon. Earlier, May 20th, Kerala will receive rains, and then it's a signal that every place in the country will start slowly receiving the rains. Now there's nothing like that. Now you're getting rains all over the place. What is the implication of that? As a farmer, there was a traditional time for sowing. There's a traditional time for harvesting. Now there is no traditional time. It can happen anytime. Last year, I think the onion farmers lost all their crops because of rain, untimely rains. Okay, so everything is going to go for a toss. So we are now investing on tur-dal farms in Africa. The government has got thing. So we are investing. That's not making sense. You can. One day they put a barrier and they say get out, you are getting out. There's nothing you can do. Your country is your country. Nobody can prevent that. There you should be wise. So every problem, right now what I told you, water is a problem, solid waste is a problem, energy is a problem, all the three, money is a problem. We have to look at it as an opportunity, erase the artificial construct. So when we say food, we think it's agricultural engineering, agricultural science, farmers, that way. Energy, we look at it as electrical engineering, power engineering, and that's their story. And water would be water supply engineer, civil engineering, mechanical. So it's all limited artificial construct. It is not so. We have to look at it from a holistic perspective. If you do that, everything is to the positive side. So this is one such project. So typically, solid waste is a problem where in any place in India, if you go, if you are putting up a garbage plant in any place, people will obstruct. In Bangalore itself, you would have seen there are a lot of protests and how to asking petitions in the court, asking the plant to be removed. And similarly, if you put a sewage treatment plant, same issue. Unless you have these two, your environment is not clean. And if your environment is not clean, you are going to create global warming, all other diseases, everything put together. Energy, this single project handles both the problems, that is wastewater and solid waste in a single thing. What you see there, it's a digester. And in the process, usually we use electricity and chemicals to run a waste management plant. To operate, you need to spend electricity and you need to spend money to clean. Here, instead of spending, this project generates energy. It generates electricity. This particular project generates about 250 kilowatts of power. So, in solving the problem, you are not spending electricity. On the contrary, you are generating electricity. Generating electricity means revenue to the people who are running it. It's a single project, so you don't need any two projects, you don't need. Third, what is that we are using? When you put a waste management, it generates foul odor, methane, H2S, stink, flowing leachate, which is what people object. That one is what is productively converted to energy. So, in your house, when you are opening your LPG stove and opening it and leaving it without, what happens? The room will get the LPG smell. What do you do immediately? One is a safety. Other one, you will immediately close it because there's money going out of your stove, wasted. Here, if it stink, the engineer will go and just immediately shut down because he realizes he is losing money because it is electricity which is losing. So, no stink comes from here because the stink is what converting to electricity and money for us. So, this is the project. It generates revenue, less number of people, and you can see best thing from the climate change angle, where you traditionally generate around 20,100 tons of carbon dioxide, this would remove 10,000. That means there's a net advantage from a climate perspective. Okay, one. Two, this biogas can be converted to a CNG, which means it can remove your dependence on Middle East country which supply natural gas to you. You saw in the previous slide, our natural gas supply is only for 18 years with the current way of usage. If you use more, the 18 years will come to 3-4 years, and that is going to happen. But if you generate your own gas because of the waste which you are producing, because of your population dividend, there is no choice, you can't reduce. It is going to increase. That you are converting it to bio-CNG, you can use it as a substitute for LPG. Then, second, converting as an ethanol, you can run your vehicles, so you can avoid or reduce the dependence on diesel. So, the biomass energy potential can be realized here. Virtually nothing goes waste when you do this. Everything is utilized. And this is the way which many cities are progressing, and it is envisioned in our solid waste management manual also. We are not talking about burning waste, we are converting, fermenting, making, and now they are talking about converting this byproduct into hydrogen, which is even going to be superior. So, these are ways where you convert your current problems into an opportunities using an interplay of other disciplines. So, it's mechanical, it's electrical, chemistry, biochemistry, you name it, it is there. Okay. Don't limit yourself to your branch of study which you will get your certificate. That is there, that will open the door. But inside the door, what you do, how you are contributing to the making of this Viksit Bharat depends on how much respect you give to the other discipline, how much pain you take to understand the other discipline and converge them to get a better result. Okay. So, because they say normally when you have some efficiency multiplied by some other efficiency, the overall efficiency is lower. Only in human resource, when you multiply, the efficiency goes more than 1. And this is the place where you have to talk. How you can multiply your efficiencies. Human efficiencies can go more than 1. All other thing, what we learn in energy cannot be created, matter and all those things are there, no fundamental conservation laws. If you multiply efficiencies, it will always reduce. Only in HR it can go up. So, you please understand how things are working. Also, another thing to know is, because of certain constraints, we would have adopted a certain thing in the last decades. Our generation would have managed a problem by putting artificial barriers, so you don't go beyond that. Okay, the limitation is not because of anything. I don't have a technology to overcome it, so we limit the thing by putting artificial rules. When you are going into the field, remove this thing, ask whether these constraints are real, is it necessary, which means you have to start from the fundamental. I'll tell you something. As a civil engineer, when we started, we had RCC was M15. M15 was the first RCC, reinforced concrete. Today, we are talking about 20 or 25. 25. Okay. Anything else is called, I forgot the name, PCC. So, when I say we will design with M15, everybody is scared, it will fall off. Why it will fall? All the buildings we have designed as M15. It is just that at that time we could not powder that cement, make it so fine that you can get the strength of an M25. Now you have got technology. Now the codes are getting revised to suit that. We had a certain strength of steel earlier. Now that strength steel code itself is not seen. I mean, there is no standards for that. Now new handbook is going to be prepared. What it means is, as the technologies change, you will go along with it, but you also have to remember the old foundations, which means coming back to basic sciences, the fundamentals. I'll tell you something. I was working as a head of wind energy. We were making turbines. Okay. And for some luck or whatever it is, I was made head of manufacturing. I am a civil engineer, and this is a mechanical thing with turbines with I don't know how many parts, thousands of parts. The mechanical engineer said he does not know the nuts and bolts, so he said he will do site work. So building foundation all he will do. The electrical fellow said there is a transmission line in renewable energy, I will do that. The leftover fellow was me. So like Devegowda, I became a manufacturing head in for wind turbine. So our collaborators were UK partners, and they said to erect this wind turbine, the turbine, you have the generator part and all those things, the blade and all, you need a 400 ton crane to lift and put on top. I don't know whether you have seen wind turbine Chitradurga and all those places and all, you can see Kanya. So you have a tower, 60 meter, nowadays the tower heights are also 100 meters and above. You lift the whole thing and keep it here. For lifting, you need a crane, which is 400 ton as per the erection manual. When we checked, I am talking about 20-25 years ago. When we checked, 400 ton cranes is only available in Tuticorin, in the port. Nobody else uses because nobody else needs. Here nowadays you see high multi-story buildings, high-rise buildings and all. But those type of cranes, movable cranes were available only in the port. You have something in Tuticorin, something in Mumbai, something in Mangalore. Now, what do? When you ask the cost, those days per day hire charge was 4 lakh rupees. For one day, the crane will come, 4 lakh rupees you have to pay rent. To come, he will take some time because it cannot travel in the daytime, it will slowly come. Those days roads were also not big. So that cost of that thing was prohibitively high, some 40-50 lakhs. Driver's salary was 25,000 rupees per day. I mean, not driver, the crane operator's salary. You can imagine. We were doing, I was head of renewable energy in Kirloskar Electric. So I was talking, we had huge generator and we had cranes working in our plant. So went and talked to them. They said, sir, this we can do in our 80 ton crane. I said, no, 400 ton they are asking. 80 ton we can lift. Okay, so then we got the crane graph, load height graph and all, and we realized it can do. So I sent a letter to our collaborators, because they said any deviation from the O&M manual, we are responsible, and guarantees and warranties and all will get affected. So we can't take the risk. So I sent a letter. They said, look, we can't guarantee. We have experience with 400 tons. You get 400 tons and do. Then our management decided that we will take a risk, because 60 lakh is too much. So we took insurance. We took 80 ton, lifted and kept it. And those fellows came and took video, the English people. What I am trying to say is, this is the barrier. This barrier has been placed by somebody who has developed for whatever reason. I am a code writer, I know Java, I write in Java. You are a Python fellow, you write in Python. It does not mean this code cannot be written in any other language. So when a Python code has to be modified, you need a Python fellow, you need a Java fellow. Java is outdated, new things are there. You know, we are constrained by something defined by somebody else. But if you know the fundamental, you can modify. So the basics has to be very strong, and you can do a lot of things. Yeah. Anyway, I think time, how long or over? Yeah. So this is the thing. Why invest? The environment is what covers the social subsystem, contract and economy. So everything is under this large framework of environment. That's why I say, no, we have only one planet. If you lose this, we are lost. If you see agriculture infrastructure, this is a thematic area. Now environment, if I talk, right from climate change, the way you crop your thing, your nutrition to the soil, you won't know, there's something called achieving land degradation neutrality. It is a UN mandate and all countries have signed. Almost 195 countries have signed. India has also signed. Achieving land degradation neutrality. It means land should not get degraded. Most of the lands are degraded all over the world, in India also. Why? Because of over fertilization with chemical fertilizer. The father of modern green revolution, Dr. Swaminathan, who recently passed away, he said he made a mistake by promoting this chemical fertilizer. Reason is, studies have proven that when you put chemical fertilizer, initially there is a spurt in growth. Afterwards, it tapers, and to get the same yield, you need to put more fertilizer per unit acre. Okay. Now, if you keep doing it, one, soil's productivity reduces, which means your food security goes down. Second, you need more water because the soil is not able to hold water. So you irrigate water. One, whatever rains will just run off. It will run off carrying your fertilizer. One. Two, the soil is not able to hold it. And urea and other fertilizer, NPK, will not yield if carbon is not there. So carbon nitrogen ratio in soil is very important. Now you are coming to biochemistry, biology, agriculture science. How do you get carbon? How do you get carbon? You have to get organic carbon, which means you need to put farmyard manure, cow dung, horse dung and all those things. But are there farmyard manure now? No, because that is also dwindling. So the easiest farm carbon source is solid waste. Solid waste compost is the easiest thing. You put it there, that will improve. Your water use, sprinklers and all those things will start coming here. Resources, renewable, non-renewable, I told you. One of the largest resources we have is wind. Tap it to your bio-CNG, bio-CBG, all these things are social vision. There's how do we, if you see agriculture is our important thing in our GDP, which will continue to be like that. If you have to feed ourselves and feed the world, that will be a strong point. Mechanized agriculture, all will come. There you will have farmers, you will have many things which are related to that. During the later part, I will talk how we worked with women farmers in Maharashtra to improve their livelihood and household income. Welfare and all linked to that. Finance and economy, every one of it will convert to money because that is your measure. Governance. See, there is a saying which says, what you can't measure, you can't improve. So everywhere, right from economics to social to water use to energy use to you name it. Unless you are able to measure and get data in real time, we will not be able to improve. So that is where all this large data, data analytics, all these things will start coming. But for that, your basic core engineering is required. You don't get data just like that. It's data about something. Material use in buildings, vibration equipment, fuel usage, all this has to come. All these are your traditional engineering. This and that has to connect, and then you analyze and start putting it back, improvising this. Security, I told you, the greatest security is not defense, it's food and water. There's something called virtual water export. Do you know if you have to cook 1 cup of rice, how much water is required? How much water is required if you have to consume 1 cup of rice? Can anybody tell? How much? 2 cups. 2 cups is required to cook 1 cup of rice. Interestingly, to develop or generate or manufacture or to grow 1 cup of rice, you need 2100 liters of water, which is what we don't know, virtual water. To grow paddy is the most challenging thing, and it's the largest guzzler of water. Paddy, wheat, all these things. All dairy is even worse. Okay, that is the reason Government of India millet policy has come in. It is very scrounging on water consumption. It has more calories, more protein, more everything, less water. So if we want to be a Viksit Bharat by 2047 with our limited water resource, we have to look at resources which consume less water. Sugarcane, most hopeless. So when we say we exported basmati rice so many million, statistics say that we exported 10 trillion liters of water, 10 trillion liters of water last year when we exported basmati rice. So typically export means what? I have something in more in abundance and I give it to somebody who does not have. What India is doing, India is not having water, we are exporting water out. The most illogical thing. So which means in our chart towards being that 5 trillion, this one, we have to see what are we exporting. We have to export only what we really can spare, not everything. Just because I get money, I can't sell off my house. It's not like that. So I have to keep and reserve things which are very critical. Okay, water resource is the most important resource, and they say there's this, I think Alvin Toffler's book which says the Third World War will fought for water, and we had seen that happening between 2 states, 3 states, 5 states and all. This is the important thing. So please remember, anything you do, minimize waste. Food, energy and waste should be your protocol when you are thinking of any route, any charting your territory, this one to the Viksit Bharat, this has to be kept in mind. Yes. Yeah, this is an interesting, there's an old Indian saying, I just converted that, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. That means Dharma protects the one who protects it. Similarly, environment protects the one who protects environment. Understand, tomorrow if you are getting killed, you are not going to get killed by environment. I mean, nuclear bomb or anything else. You will be killed by environment. All your diseases, epidemics, endemics, pandemics, all these things are related to that. Food. More people are going to die because of that than this war. And that one is a 5 elements. So any problem in environment can be broken down into one. Your climate change, air pollution, your energy, material. If you see all these lights here, can we avoid it? Can we get into solar passive architecture? All these things starts coming in. Yeah? That's it. That's a photo of our STP here in Bangalore. The STP is under it. Thank you.
We can take a break, 5 minutes. We'll play the video, then we'll have a panel discussion. Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable knowledge on investment in environment and as well as 10 thematic sectors under Niti Aayog towards Viksit Bharat 2047. Thank you so much. Now I request our Honorable Chairman Dr. K.R. Paramahamsa sir to grace the dais.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने विकसित भारत 2047 वॉइस ऑफ यूथ लॉन्च किया। हम में से हर कोई भारत को विकसित देश बनाने के लिए सोच सकता है और अपने सुझाव विकसित भारत 2047 विचार पोर्टल पर भेज सकता है। भारत 21वीं सदी की महाशक्ति बनने की तरफ जा रहा है। भारत को महाशक्ति बनाने में ये पोर्टल बहुत बड़ा योगदान प्रदान करेगा। एक मजबूत और सशक्त समाज तभी बनता है जब नागरिक देश के हित में सोचते हैं। 2023 के भारत में कई चीजें ऐसी हैं जिस पे हमें काम करना है। आइए भारत को एक विकसित देश बनाने के लिए मिलकर काम करें।
Principal Dr. H.N. Tippeswamy sir to welcome our Honorable Chairman Dr. K.R. Paramahamsa with the flower bouquet. Now it's time for a fireside chat by students with the chief guest. I call upon students of all the branches, Arvind, Ravi Prakash, Sindhu, Akanksha, Suhas, Aishwarya, Chandana and Tariq to grace the dais.
Told me you were not well. Yes, sir. Yesterday morning. Back so back.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tariq Anjum, 7th semester, Computer Science Department. My question is, what would be the status of smart cities in India by 2047?
audible? ಕಾಲರ್ ಮೈಕ್ ಇದೆ ಬಟ್
ಆನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
ಆನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. So this 100 smart cities project is going on.
Yes, sir.
India has got almost 4,000 plus cities. So they were started as a lighthouse cities for it to be emulated by others. Okay. Now what happens is by 2047, probably 60-70% of the whole country will be urbanized. Okay. Each one of it will be self-sufficient. Self-sufficient meaning from the same few food, energy, water. Okay. Right now I am working in Kerala, and there's an interesting this thing. I am working with 93 urban local bodies. Kerala has almost 1,089 ULBs, of which 93 municipalities are there. 93 municipalities, including some 7. Now, when we are talking about smart cities, we always talk about 93. Whereas there are 1,089 cities which are candidates to be urban local body. It is just a definition. Okay. Now, what it means is 2047, this 1,089 will be at that level. Now, when I am looking at solid waste, I will tell. Here in Bangalore also is the same situation. When you are talking about solid waste, the waste which is generated from one city needs to be handled inside the city. Today we are taking it to a village outside the city and manage it. It is possible because there is a intervening space between this city and that city, and some panchayats and some villages have some spare land. 2047 we can't count on it. It will be just a ribbon. Now, when I move a waste from here to there, they object. Understand?
Yes, sir.
That is what is the situation. 2 years ago, they were moving waste from Kerala state to Tamil Nadu. From Goa, where we are working, they are moving waste from Goa to Karnataka. It's possible. Nothing wrong.
I agree with you, sir.
But when every state is becoming bigger, state is developing, state is generating more waste, more water, more this, they will say, first let me look at my city, my people, and then I will take care of you. That is going to be the issue. That is going to choke you down. Okay. Now, there was this, I don't know, a few years ago, there was Latur faced a huge drought. When they faced this drought, the government transferred water using railways. Okay. And the interesting part at that time, I remember it vividly, on TV they showed in a hospital, you know, next to the patient there's a small table, no? Side table, there is a small locker where people keep their valuables, mobile, watches and all kept there. They were keeping water bottle inside, mobile outside. What does it tell? That fundamental roti, kapda, makan, that water, food and shelter is going to be the crucial things. And if that is not taken care, there is nothing smart about anything. You might have driverless metro trains, everything is fine. But if your common base person is not touched, there is nothing smart. Okay. The way we are going, as long as we don't blindly emulate the other countries, I think we should be in a track. It will happen because every city is now becoming aspirational cities. Okay. I know people who are not staying in Bangalore, they are going and working in Kundapur and that side, because they say it's very cheap to hire an office, people are available at lower cost, everything is okay. It's going to happen.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable information.
Hi.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Suhas Gajanana. I'm from AIML department. My question to you was, how can we bring agriculture into a mainstream profession among youths? And now there is a new field called AI. How can AI and agriculture be used?
Yeah. One was, how can agriculture be a mainstream? right? Yeah, like I told you, agriculture is the mainstay of our GDP, and nothing can work without food, right? So when our population is going up by almost 40%, we are going to host 20% of the world's population. We need food for them, and our GDP is also, the agricultural export also is going to be our mainstay and is a main contributor, right? That's the only weapon we have. We can choke. I'll tell you a simple thing. Some time back, we had some issue with, I think, Malaysia or Indonesia, one of those two countries. We had some diplomatic thing. Nothing. The government of India advised informally not to buy palm oil. Not to buy palm oil from this country. The Prime Minister had to resign. New Prime Minister came, everything is patched up. What I'm telling, weapons are no longer the war thing for security. Okay, agriculture and economy. So if you are on that level, you can dictate things, and that is important. And the good thing with India is, see, China, for example, now they are on the top. For them, if other countries don't buy, they are falling down, and that is what has happened to them because the market is outside. In India, the market is going to be internal. 20% of the market is inside. So we have that protection, which is very good. And one more thing which you have as an advantage is your age. We are the youngest country at that time. All others are aging generation. Okay. Probably they will be supported by doctors and nurses from India. That's the advantage. No? Artificial intelligence and data, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in agriculture, I told you, we have very small land mass. Now, for that, if you are going to do irrigation, we have less water, even less. So if you have to irrigate it and generate, you need to be very productive about what you put as input and what you get out. So what Israel is doing, all measured doses, so Israel is a good example. So India is following that example. So there we need to monitor how much is the moisture, how much is soil carbon, how much is the nutrient level, how much is the moisture level, and then feed exactly what is necessary. When you do that, you need real-time data, you need this intelligence,
data analysis.
IoT, all those things would come in.
Thank you, sir.
Hello sir, my name is Ravi. So my question is, with the Swachh Bharat initiative, how can we leverage our growing population and use it as an advantage to drive our country into becoming the cleanest country in the world?
Swachh Bharat, I told you again in my presentation, hallmark of a developed country is clean, okay, but the cleanliness comes with a cost. Now how can we leverage that by reducing the cost of the whole thing? Like I told you, if I look at solid waste itself has a potential as an energy source, solid waste has a potential as a nutrient source for agriculture, okay. So these two are complementary. Yesterday there was one more article, this, the government of India's major intervention is this highways. Many highways are stuck because they are not getting fill materials for their embankments and road. It is stuck. What can contribute to it? Your reject from your waste can contribute. Your construction demolition waste can contribute. Okay. So all this, it's all in cleanliness, construction demolition waste. Okay. Now, electronic waste. China has weaponized that. They have one of the highest reserves of lithium. They don't export other countries, so other countries can't manufacture things if they don't give the raw material. So now they are doing harvesting from their mines. From the e-waste, they are taking out this lithium and other rare earth and transforming it. So cleaning up itself is an important task. When you clean, you are getting resource, and resource at a lower environmental cost. That's the important part. Lower environment cost. You have purchased it, you made it into a waste, you put it, but you harvest it, your mining cost, all those things reduces, right?
Thank you, sir.
Kasadinda Rasa, waste to wealth, all these things, literally you can extract material out because we are not exploiting the full potential.
Hi sir, this is Arvind. My question is, are there any initiatives to preserve our culture, values, schools of thoughts and intentions while adopting to the modernization and competing with global? Are there any initiatives?
The initiatives are plenty, I would say, but this is basically inherent. I think that should come from the household, because that can be driven through this thing. So one of the initiative is your good health, yoga and all those things. Yeah. Now, millet program is an initiative which will give you good nutrition at a lower cost. Food for all, no? That is one. Then what are the other things? Your Kela India thing, yeah, that is one. Cultural values are something which we should, that's what I'm telling. India is culturally very stingy in generating waste. We don't generate waste. Culturally, we are sort of averse, but slowly in our ambition or aspiration to emulate the waste, we are going into that, the package culture. So we should start reducing there. Okay, that is one. Another thing is your family structures in India. Family structures. You have, see this depression thing which you saw here in that video. All this has happened when you are without support. You will see in US, everybody has a personal psychologist or a psychiatrist. Personal. We don't have. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is the counseling system, the supporting system, the guidance system, the mentoring system is already inbuilt in our culture. It is there in the house, it is there in the colleges also. We have to preserve it. The problem is we consider conforming to this as a contrast to freedom. It is not really so. Like I remember one Jewish violinist, one very famous violinist. They asked him, he was coming from Poland. Poland was a communist country with lot of rigid policies, right? So they asked, how can you be a musician in that place? No, in US we have lot of freedom, anything you can do, whereas in communist you have all this. He made one thing, he's a violinist. He showed his violin. He just loosened the string. It was all loose. And he plugged. Do you think there will be music? No. He tightened it. And then he plugged. He made wonderful music. So what he tried, he said, certain things, rigidity are required to play wonderful music. What we consider in our culture as rigid, not modern, is what made India what India is. So if you forget, you're finished. Why are most Western culture trying to emulate us when we are trying to do their job? It doesn't make sense, right?
Thank you, sir.
Hi sir, good afternoon. I'm Sindhu, 5th SEM ECE. So my question is, how will the startup companies contribute to country's progress and development?
How will it contribute? Okay. See, we are now in a sort of consolidation time. Okay. Lot of opportunities are existing. And who can look at the traditional people, these things sell. So I get into that process. These areas which are on the fringe, which are new, upcoming, which I know which may be needed 10 years from now, 20 years from now. These are things which a startup can easily pick. If I am I'm running a shop, running an enterprise, running a factory. It is getting me dividends. Why should I enter into some other area which is not known? The startups are able to take risk. Okay, not every startup will succeed. Okay, startup take risk. Some of it will be might be a high flyer, unicorn type of thing. But you know what? At some point, they all will converge and consolidate. Okay, many startups. So a lot of startups came in 2000, year Y2K at that time. Lot of them closed down also. Okay, this is going to happen. It will reduce, because the good thing with startup in India, the market is inside India. Others were looking at market outside and developing for them. China was making, this fellow needs that, so he was making something. They invested heavily on manufacturing. Apple wanted this, they will do it, it's cheap. It's artificial. The demand reduces because those people become old. That's the end of the story. I'll tell you something, in my work, I went to Germany. I saw sewage treatment plants, stable. The water which goes in is also like this, the water which comes out is also like that. The reason is When they designed, they over-designed the plants. Okay, they designed it for 100 years. All the pipes were stainless steel, 306, 304 type of stainless steel, heavy. They had the money. And what has happened to them? The population has come down. What was designed as 100 MLD receives only 30 MLD now. The pollution is coming down because hardly anybody is there. In India, it is the reverse. Okay, so for them, they are teaching wastewater treatment, but they don't know any wastewater treatment. There is no plant being constructed. So they are sending their German experts to India as interns to learn under a development corporation. I'll tell you something. In Karnataka, I have designed a hazardous waste project. A project to manage hazardous waste generated in the whole of Karnataka. Recently, we finished one project for the whole of Goa. This project is designed for the next 25 years. What it means is any hazardous waste engineer who is bought out from Karnataka will not get an opportunity to create an hazardous waste facility or implement an hazardous waste facility for the next 25 years. That opportunity is gone. I have taken it. Understand? So you need opportunities, and that opportunity is coming in India because India is developing like that. Now we are talking about 93 ULB, 4000 ULB, 6 lakh, 7 lakh units in India. That opportunity is available to you. Your canvas is here. You don't go out. So that's the greatest thing. So startups have a lot of opportunities, and they are going to transform India because the opportunity and potential is here only.
Thank you, sir.
Hello sir, good afternoon. I'm Akanksha from EC department studying in 5th SEM. My question to you is, in what way can we use our increasing population as an asset for the future development of our country?
That's the only thing which we have asset. Yeah, 20% of the world. And if you see, all our people are everywhere. All our people are everywhere. Some countries, I think we are going to be the majority in no time, Indians. And I keep telling, if at all anybody has to take, I mean, you guys are engineers, so it's fine. But if you're looking at a profession of 2047, which is a single lucrative profession, if you ask me, I would say geriatric care. Geriatric care means where you take care of old people. Okay, where you take care of old people, because the entire world will be old. Entire world will be old. Okay, which means to take care of them, you need doctors, caregivers. Who are the caregivers? You can't be an old person giving care to another old person. You have to be young, which means only the Indians will be able to do. We see it. Every country we have Indian nurses, Indian doctors, right? There are some countries where they invite people, they give money to take up house there. There are some countries, some counties in Europe where they pay you to take a house and stay because they don't have anybody to see and talk. That's the situation. So your dividend is there only. The whole world is yours.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hello sir, I'm Aishwarya, and my question is to you is that how will you envision the role and empowerment of women in India evolving over next 25 years?
Okay, you put a gender divide. I was telling we should remove all these divides. Okay, the current set of technology, current set of policies does not discriminate between man and woman. Who is ready to work as an opportunity. Okay, it is just an artificial thing. Okay, because you snatch away work from somebody else, that is going to create a issue anyway. Okay, because if there is one work, either a man should do or a woman should do, one of them is unemployed. But the advantage we have is with this market of 1/5 of the world, we are having so much of opportunities that all our 100% works also we will have vacancies. So I don't see that as a thing. People are going to, I don't see any job which limits a woman. There's no job. Be it space, be it agriculture. That was a traditional, see, I told you, earlier days there were certain constraints culturally, societally, made due to certain other problems of that time. Today when we are doing, we should not follow that rules. Okay, please remember there's a very famous quote, I think it's the rules of the future cannot be made by the rules, by following the rules of the past. You cannot. Or the problems of the past, future cannot be solved by the people who created them. We have created the problem by putting some constraint. Women can't work here, women can't work there. This is the role, they should work only during daytime. We created for certain reason. Today, that reason is not there. We can't follow the old rule. Okay. This is same thing as computers. We are writing earlier in some register attendance and all those things. Today what they do, they have fingerprint, biometric, then they print and file. What is the use? Income tax was like that. You file digitally, print, and then you send by post. That was a transition period. Now there is nothing. What I am trying to say is, certain rules were established to organize the certain work at certain time. But that time has changed. The rules should not be continued. That is our Indian culture also. Indian culture also tells the same thing. Rules of the past are meant for that past only. That is why we are a dynamic society in India. Not like other cultures everywhere. We are empowered to question the rules. We are empowered to change the rules if it does not suit the time of that situation. That's the important part. So I don't think that's a limiting factor at all.
Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. My name is Chandana from 3rd SEM CSE branch. My question is, what progress can we see in skill development and education of youth by 2047?
What skill level? I would say, what skill do we need today? See, most of you are engineers, okay? Let's say a tap leaks in your house. Okay? Can you fix it?
Yes.
Let's say a computer stops working. Can you diagnose the problem? Is it the problem at the outlet? Is it the problem at the plug, at the wire, at the inlet to the laptop? Or is the problem with the hardware? The other one is complicated. This basic thing we should know. Okay. What I see is many of our engineers are good in engineering calculations, but physically they don't know. I had an interview with one boy, and I asked him what is the size of a brick, and he started off like this. Okay, I was trying to figure out like this. He was started. Then I realized he was an AutoCAD draftsman. For him, a line is 2 mm on the screen. That's physicality. Okay. Another question is, somebody asked me, I had designed something. They said the safe bearing capacity is so much. No, we are getting so many tons on that place. I asked, if you are standing on that, you are not sinking. That ton does not happen. What I am trying to say is, the physical meaning of an inch, a ton, a kg, 1 kg per square centimeter should be embedded here. Okay. So this is in European countries after 10th or I think 11th or something they call, they have a vocational training. After that only they come to engineering. We don't have. We have sacrificed our labs. We can't do anything. We are engineers here. Hand we don't know. We need to know, and especially this hand drawing and things is lost. So if you want to know how it will impact you, see the Terminator film. What happens if that artificial intelligence takes over? You have to come back to basics. That basic skill you should have, life skills. So it is very important right now, and it will be more important when you reach there. Everything. You should feel the dirt. Moisture content, if you say you are going to put a moisture probe and checking, it will not work. No, it's like making sambar or something by measuring 2.35 grams on a 5-digit weighing machine and putting it. It will not work. Tea, 95 degree, 97 degrees, what they say for a good tea. You don't measure it like that. But that's what I'm telling. A vocational training is where your 5 senses are together, not only your brain. So that is very important that you train your 5 senses in your engineering. Handwritten calculation. I personally, in my first year, it was very interesting. There was a program, software, which designed something, and the truss fell. Some other person analyzed the same thing. He predicted something else will fall. I did a hand calculation. I got a third one. My client was confused. He did not know what to do because my calculation says that is weak. This fellow's calculation says that is weak. The other fellow says something else is weak. Which is correct? hand calculations better because you get a sense when you do. Deflection, I mean, your computer science, right? They don't know. But whatever it is, even in programming, it is the same thing. Unless you know, I know people who have developed codes without understanding the user perspective. I am a user in garbage. You need to know what will make my life better when you start drawing a code. You are an artist with a code, but you don't know what I need. So you need to understand my problem. So empathize with the subject, then do your work. So all your field are like that. Problem is go across. You have your strength, nobody can remove. But the problem area you have to understand. That's the key part. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now let's take upon few questions from audience.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Venu Gopal. Being a student, what can our institutions, schools and colleges contribute to the nation's development apart from the traditional education, sir?
It's a very interesting very interesting question. It's a very interesting question. What can you do apart from traditional education? In India, the traditional education starts from the time you leave your house, when you are born. Okay. Anyway, that is different. But you know, as a college, how do you connect your community to yourself? You know, you're an engineer. 4 years you will be an engineer. What have you done till now to the society? What are you going to do to improve the life and this one of the common man? That's what you have to see. Okay. So many, if you see some of this great, in some of these hackathons I see, people have understood a person working in this field has this problem, trying to solve it. These are something you can do. You can even go as elementary as teaching a 4th standard, 5th standard, 6th standard child. Today I was discussing with one of your professors why people are not going into the traditional engineering. Traditional means basic engineering, civil, electrical. Because when you are coming, you are approaching the potential student more from a salesman angle. They are looking at, okay, I join IT, I will get so many lakhs. We are not investing on marketing of the traditional engineering. You can do marketing. India wants to be a developed country. You need kilometers and kilometers of roads, kilometers and kilometers of transmission lines, water supply, you name it, we need it. Can we do it with computer science? No. So you need hardcore engineering. When you need hardcore engineering, you need to make people join hardcore engineering. You can do that. Basic mathematics people don't know. Whatever comes out in the code, you believe it is true. Not correct. Codes are always approximation. So understand something. You can contribute to lot. There are a lot of people who are working with women artisans, waste to wealth, recycling, water savings, farmers, understanding I know one project which was how to reduce food wastage. Food wastage, when we produce 100 tons in this country, only 40 tons is eaten, 60 tons goes as waste. Farmers don't get the benefit, we don't get the benefit, 60 tons goes as waste, which is a problem for us. How can you minimize that? All those things are possible. Right from education to support, counseling, lot of things you can do. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is Alia from AIML. My question to you is, over the next 25 years, what will be the state of the diplomacy, trade and international relations?
Yeah, this is a little different subject for an engineer. But you know, like I told you, wars will not be fought on weapons. That's limited. And I'll tell you the reason why. You know, many countries have realized, there's a nice book, I think it's called One, I think. Chernobyl occurred in Russia. A nuclear reactor broke. It was in Ukraine actually. When that happened, milk powder in Bombay was contaminated. Chernobyl is somewhere there in Ukraine. Milk product in Mumbai was contaminated. What it means is we are not disconnected from the world. Okay. There's also a story. From Pakistan, a plane leaves. I think in 7 minutes it can reach Mumbai. Okay. Missile is also something like that. But whether you bomb Mumbai or Delhi or Bangalore, the radiation is going to affect Pakistanis. It's only a question of death occurring immediately or death occurring after a week or month. Understand? So this type of weapons are all different. What is the weapon is food, energy. These are the only weapon. Okay, Russia used that. That is why they are not able to touch them. Winter in Europe is very bad. But if the Europeans decide to support Ukraine and attack Russia, that's the end of their oil supply. They will all freeze to death. So these are weapons which nobody can stop. Okay, economic weapon. So diplomacy. I told you about that palm oil in trade. You can force people to do things which you can't do militarily. Money. We are making friends with people who are, Chinese are making friends with people who are poor, making them bankrupt and giving them, that is the money lender type of work. You have another type of benefactor type of thing. So diplomacy wise, that is better. So so finally, this investment is going, everybody knows everybody else is necessary for my survival. My survival depends on the survival of those other fellows. So keep them comfortable so that you don't come and step into my, so if you have a problem, food crisis in the neighboring countries, what will happen? Migrants will come in, we'll end up in trouble. We don't want that. So basically, development with a holistic objective, not with a harmful thing in mind. No, I want to be powerful nuclear wise so that I am able to bomb anybody. That is not going to be the weapon or the reason for your success. Your success is in friendship. That is where this universal brotherhood or this familyhood, which is our what is our punchline from the government, no? Vasudeva Kudumbakam. The entire world is my family. If you are my family, then I have nothing to harm you. You have nothing to harm me. And it is my reason that you have to survive in a comfortable manner. Okay, Europe is facing it. Africa is in trouble. People are migrating into Africa. They are landing up in trouble. Now they are putting barrier. It's discriminatory. US is having that. Mexicans are coming. They are discriminatory. So this is not going to happen. So the strategy we have adopted, friendship with all, is going to work.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Madhvi Kulkarni, Assistant Professor from EC Department. My question to you is, do you think technology will replace traditional teachers in future? What are your thoughts on this potential impact for this change?
No, you will not go out of work.
Thank you so much, sir.
You will not go out of work, but the way we teach will change. Okay, but that is what, see, what I have seen is the traditional way of teaching was different. The current way of teaching is different. Future, this livelihood, this vocational training and all comes, it will go back to the olden school. Okay, if you look at that Guru Sishya ashram in the olden days, no, a rich fellow, a king, a god, or a poor man used to go and serve the teacher. Yes. Washing the cows, agriculture and all those things. No, you are basically connected. There were no differences. The difference used to occur after they finish their schooling, so-called schooling. Then one becomes a king, one becomes a potter or this thing. But what has happened in our rat race, we have come to a situation where you have sacrificed many things. And in the thing of passing people, because you have to hold a certain scale, things have been simplified to an extent. Now it's only a shell. That problem of that is going to be faced by India in next 2-3 years. I know of companies which have finishing schools after a degree to teach skills which are needed in a civil engineer. Okay, so when I interview people, yesterday also I had some people, I don't know from which college, they are coming, they are expecting a salary, and the salary they expect is something huge. For my generation, it is difficult to imagine that. But anyway, they think that everybody else is getting, so we also need that. That is their expectation. I don't have any problem with that. I ask them, how can you contribute to the company? With your knowledge, can I sell something? No. You are paying fees and joining a college. Will you pay fees here and learn? How quickly will you learn? There in a college, 4 years to learn. Here you learn in 3 days. After 3 days, I'll pay you salary. If you take 3 years, after 3 years, we'll pay you salary. The problem is, you are coming out, you are not able to contribute. So teachers have one thing, syllabus is one part. Yes. You can't do anything because it's not in your control. Yes. But you need to provoke the creativity and the natural learning process in a child.
Okay, sir.
That is what you have to do. That if you don't do, well, you will become redundant. Redundant in the sense you are there because I need to get my degree. Otherwise I don't need. I will go to YouTube and learn. And I will come to give my attendance and fulfill my norms as far as my getting the certificates is concerned. Okay.
Yes.
So if you want to be relevant, you have to be relevant of the times. In your time it was different, you learned. Yes. In a certain time is different. Now the relevance will change. So you have to do it. Because if you ask the children who go out, you should ask how many teachers do they remember. If they remember you, then it means you have done your job.
Okay, sir.
So please remember that you have to be embedded in their heart, which means you have to be relevant to them in their future path. So that is the method that will be different because your tools will be different. Earlier we had books. Yes. Now I don't know how many people go to library, but you have to be relevant means you have to understand their thing and transform on that and give them in an easily palatable fashion.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Dr. Vagdevi, Head of AIML Department, and my question to you is, can you define or highlight the role of ethics and empathy for a sustained growth for our Viksit Bharat at 2047?
Ethics and empathy. I think I covered that. See, once you, right now, there's a pride and ego when I am a particular discipline. I am a frog in the well. In my well, I am the only frog. I am a king. When I start looking at other disciplines, not only engineering, science, the soft skills, I learn about humans. So you have to be first a human. Once you do that, the only thing which connects where I don't tread on your feet and you don't tread on my feet is ethics. That's the dharma what we say. So that is something, and that is not codified like this. It is not written in stone. We have to understand the situation and adapt to that. Okay, one is a global one is our personal things. I am not corrupt and all these things are fine. So they basically that. In corruption you have to define two things. One is a larger good, one is a larger evil, those type of things. Combining, collaborating, these are all things which you have to learn. Okay, because in Indian culture we don't have a clear concept of evil and good. We don't have. Whoever says, we don't have. We can collaborate. So that is the easiest thing which you know is our Samudra Manthan. For the greater good of everybody, the Asuras and the gods collaborated. Okay, and when the poison came, somebody volunteered and drank it. When it sank, somebody volunteered. This is the culture which is India. And that is what we have to reinforce every time. It is not that it may be allegory, it may be anything. You can look at it like a story. Everything is fine. But you have to understand what it means. It means that you have to rise to the occasion to fulfill a certain demand put on us. Nobody will ask you. You have to volunteer. If you do that, and there is nothing, I told you, there is no clear distinction between evil, good or not. It's a larger good. If it affects everybody, it is fine.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, dignitaries and students, for such an enlightening panel discussion. I request all the students to go back and occupy their seats. Now it's time to felicitate our chief guest. I request our chairman, principal and the dignitaries to felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Pravinjit KP. Chairs tegiri, fatafat chairs tegiri. ఈ చైర్ ముందే డెమోన్స్ట్రేషన్ చైర్ ముందే So now I request our chairman, principal and dignitaries to felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Pravinjit KP. Now I thank you. शिक्षा से ही सृष्टि का आदान प्रदान होता है, ज्ञान की राह में ही सफलता का मार्ग मिलता है. Education is the foundation of creation. Success finds its path through the journey of knowledge. India can undoubtedly reach this extreme ambitious goal of being developed country by 2047 if we acknowledge our weakness and focus on the economic as well as socio development of the country. So now I request all the dignitaries to occupy the front row. As a protocol, I request everyone to re-watch the glimpses of Viksit Bharat 2047.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने विकसित भारत 2047 वॉइस ऑफ यूथ लॉन्च किया। प्रधानमंत्री हम में से हर कोई भारत को विकसित देश बनाने के लिए सोच सकता है। भारत को विकसित देश बनाने के लिए भारत 2047 विचार पोर्टल पर भेज सकता है। 2047 विचार पोर्टल 21वीं सदी की महाशक्ति बनने की तरफ जा रहा है। 21वीं सदी की महाशक्ति बनने की तरफ जा रहा है। पोर्टल बहुत बड़ा प्रदान करेगा। एक मजबूत और सशक्त समाज तभी बनता है जब नागरिक देश के हित में सोचते हैं। 2023 के भारत में कई चीजें ऐसी है जिस पे हमें काम करना है। आइए भारत को एक विकसित देश बनाने के लिए मिलकर काम करें। विकसित भारत लॉन्च के मौके पर पीएम मोदी ने कहा यह भारत के लिए सही समय है। हमें इस समय के हर पल का लाभ उठाना है। हमारे सामने 25 साल का अमृत काल है। हमें इस अमृत काल और लक्ष्यों के लिए 24 घंटे काम करना है। विकसित भारत के निर्माण का यह स्वर्णिम युग वैसा ही है जैसा लोग अक्सर परीक्षा के समय में देखते हैं। समाज की मानसिकता ही किसी भी देश के प्रशासन और शासन की झलक तय करती है। भारत को कैसे आगे ले जाना है, भारत को कैसा बनाना है, उसके बारे में कोई भी सुझाव है तो आप पोर्टल पे शेयर कर सकते हैं। इस वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन और फर्स्ट कमेंट में पोर्टल का लिंक दिया हुआ है। हम जल्दी ही मिलेंगे एक और नए रोचक वीडियो के साथ। तब तक अपना ख्याल रखें। धन्यवाद।
Now I request our Vice Principal Dr. Narayan Swami to deliver vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, Honorable guest Pravanjit KP, who is a Managing Director in Eco Paradigm and is also advisor to Prime Minister's office. Today we are gathered here for Viksit Bharat 2047, Amrit Kaal Vimarsh, which is a visionary project of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, which comes under one of the project that is under his Panch Pran. It is called as 5 trust he has taken. Under Panch Pran, this is one of the project that is Viksit Bharat 2047. And this is very relevant in today's world because we see Indian age group, the average age group of India is youth. In 21st century, we see average age group of India is in the band of 25 to 35. It means that majority of our Indian population in 21st century will be youth. And that is the main reason why the government is investing on youth. I'd like to thank the Ministry of Education, UGC, AICT and NITI Aayog for organizing a program like this, and also supporting our institution for conducting this event. They have chosen our institution, that is City Engineering College, for hosting this event. and we should be proud that we are the institution which has been granted this program. And I would also like to thank all the media persons who are here, who are covering this event. And I also like to extend my thanks to all the coordinators who have coordinated this event successfully. I would also like to extend my deepest thanks to our management, our principal sir, our administrative officer, and all the HODs, faculties, and teaching and non-teaching staff who have made this, who have shown the commitment and their timely efforts to make this event a grand success. I also like to extend my thanks to Mr. Suresh, who is here from our corporate office. Thank you, sir. I also like to thank each and everyone who are here participating in this event, that is our students who are the youths, to recognize this event as one of the steps towards their success, make this event as a grand success. Already we have already shown that this event is a grand success by a grand participation by all the students, and I think this will be a motivation for the future activities. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. I request all the students to scan this QR code, which is displayed on the screen, to give your valuable feedback. Now I request everyone to raise a bow for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जन गण.
I request all the students to occupy your seats until the guests leave the auditorium. I request the discipline committee to hold the students until the guests leave the auditorium. So all the students can scan the QR code which is displayed on the screen, and please give your valuable feedback